All right, good morning and welcome everyone. This is a special meeting of North Kawartha Council today. It is our strategic planning session, one of my favorite kinds of meetings that we have here. I'd like to welcome the folks that are joining us here in person today. Anyone that's maybe watching online, either in real time right now or at a later date time, because we do record all of our meetings and we upload them to our YouTube channel. So as you know, if you express any comments or any opinions, it's going to be recorded and available for folks to listen to at a later date and time. Okay, and before we get into our business here, council would like to acknowledge that we meet on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, in particular our neighbors from Kawartha Anishinaabe and Kirk Lake First Nations. We recognize and honor the original people of this place we call North Kawartha. As duly elected representatives, we follow this Indigenous practice of acknowledgement to foster respectful deliberations, thoughtful collaboration, and wise decision-making in our service to this community. Okay, and with that, I'm going to ask, does any member have pecuniary interest with any of the matters before us? Not seeing any, so we'll move on. Adoption of the agenda. There's a couple of additions, right, Kelly?
Yes.
Do you want to speak to those?
Yes, we did add an addendum to our agenda yesterday, and that is to include the staff report for propane RFP results. And we also have a motion that was made at our September 19th meeting. I'll read the motion out. That was to be added to this meeting as well. That council will set a future date at the strategic planning meeting scheduled for Wednesday, September 24th to tour municipal properties on Highway 28 South, concession 11, part lot 10, municipal property behind North Kawartha Health Center, concession 1, part lot 35, parts 1, 2, 4, and 5, and municipal property on Bomber Road, concession 2, part lot 36.
Okay, perfect. Can we add that then as like business arising from our previous meeting after we do the propane report? So right at the start, and then we'll get into the strategic planning. Okay, so if that's cool with council, can I have a motion to accept the amended agenda moved by Ruth Ann, seconded by Jim O'Shea? All those in favor? That is approved. Okay, and then without further ado, we're gonna get right into it. And the first one up is the propane RFP results, and this is put on the agenda. Yeah, come on up, Judy. Is the time sensitivity of it. So tell us all about the propane RFP, Judy.
Okay, so thank you, Madam Mayor. And I see Mr. Giraldi is here as well, so he may want to add to this. So we put the RFP out, we received 2 submissions, and as you can see, the result are, we did the evaluation, and Superior Propane, who we are with right now, came out with the most points. One of the concerns is to do with the community center and the special what would you call it, procedures over there. So that was very important that they see the facility and see what has to be done there. So the points reflect, you know, the answers to that. The time sensitivity, I intended on bringing the report to the October 7th meeting. However, when they're locking in the rate, there is a time limit, so they would only give us till tomorrow to sign the document.
Okay.
So that's why the rush to get it onto this meeting, see what council has to say.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Any questions or comments, Jim?
No, I see they score the highest, and when you're ready, I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation.
Jim, yeah, go ahead. Oh, you want to second it?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. There's no discussion. So the motion, recommendation, move seconded. All those in favor? Sign that agreement, please. Let's keep our buildings warm or cool or whatever it is that we do with the propane.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and except as we noted at the start when we amended the agenda, we need to set another date because we didn't quite get all of the properties. Or get to all of the properties on our property tour, which was excellent, by the way. Thanks everyone for that. But there's a few more that we need to do. So if everybody can kind of look at their calendars. And see, I would say it would probably be a half day, right? Because it was only the three. I don't know if there was any others to add or not, but either way, we do need to set a date.
I believe there was consideration to look at the about 10 acre lot off McFadden,
There was, that's right.
as well as.
Okay.
Kilbalmer.
Okay, perfect. So Balmer, the medical center, property on Highway 28, and then one on McFadden. Okay. So, people. What do you think? What about October 10th? Do we want to do a Friday again?
Friday's always good for me. Our problem.
Okay, October 10th is okay for everyone? It's right before Thanksgiving.
So there'll be lots of traffic.
So, yeah, well, that's actually a consideration. Well, no, not if we do it in the morning. If it's just a morning thing. Okay, so I'm seeing that we're probably in agreement for October 10th. So can I have a motion then that we set the next property tour? Okay, so moved by Ruth Ann, seconded by,
Time.
I would say 9 AM, meet here.
Okay.
But anybody want to second that? Colin. All those in favor? All right, so October 10th,
What will be the actual time
None.
limit?
I would say it's a half day, so we'll be done by noon. Okay, but maybe not.
We're
You wanna
from
commence
May.
at 9?
Yes, 9, yeah, that's what I said. Meeting to commence at 9, plan for it to be a half day. We can determine if we need more time, then we will set another date and another time, but I think we should be able to do it.
Okay, where will the meeting occur?
It'll start here.
Start here.
Yeah, it'll start here, but we're basically just in town. Right, or we're not, the furthest we go is just a bit down Highway 28. We're not traveling very far. Okay, so it should be a half day. So at 9 AM, okay, I've added it in, everybody's good, that motion, did I say all in favor? Did I? Okay, well, we're good. That's it, we're meeting October 10th, 9 AM to complete our property tour, okay. Now we will move on to new business, which is ongoing business always, our strategic planning. It influences all the things that we do throughout the year and throughout the term of this council. It is our roadmap for the future of our community. And we meet every September to kind of see what we've accomplished, what still needs to be done, and maybe what new things are out there that we want to do. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our CAO, Alana, to take us through the process.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to go through the agenda, the items listed under new business in 1A to D are really just reference documents, the existing strategic plan, the short and snapshot versions, and the existing strategic economic development plan. So I will jump right into the draft strategic plan progress accomplishments to date. And I'm gonna have Killian share the screen for
Yeah.
us,
Perfect.
so you may just have to watch.
Okay.
So we have the 4 strategic priorities: infrastructure, economy, governance, and environment. And then within those priorities, we have the goals, which are identified in the bold. Like the 1.1s, 1.2s. So we can start right here with 1.1, ensuring existing infrastructure is sustained prior to expanding or investing in new infrastructure reflective of the asset management plan. So below in bold, we have the goals that were set. And this is where we can review the status of each of these goals. We can add additional goals during process, keeping in mind that the largest strategic planning development is always at the beginning of a term of council when you're looking at a 5, 10, 15-year view, but you're setting actions for the term. So the first item is the complete a long-term financial plan. And this has been on our strategic plan for a bit, and we're expecting to complete it in Q1 2026. And I'm not sure the treasurer one.
Don't hide, Judy, it's okay. Is that too ambitious, do you think?
It might be, but we're trying.
Okay, all right, no, that's okay though, I mean, you can give us bring a progress report, you know, if there's any changes, but hey, that's excellent though, that you're that close anyway, so.
Yeah, I think samples, you know, we've been looking at a lot of samples in other municipalities, and part of it. We discussed last year as well, was setting what time frame it would cover, and I believe he's working for a 10-year time frame. Which lines up with our capital work.
Perfect.
Then we have completing assessment of service levels and classification on roads identified in the 2019 road tour. And the replacement of Talon Lake Road culvert. So we did adopt the minimum maintenance standards, in a bylaw.
Okay.
And housekeeping bylaws in regards to speed limits and stop signs are on plan, we're on plan for 24 and 25. So the speed limits were addressed through the minimum maintenance standards, they're identified there. And stop signs were addressed, back in 2017 when we did an adoption of the Ontario traffic manual books. And we designated the road superintendent, now manager of public works, to be the township representative to approve traffic signal designs and installations.
Yeah.
One questions as we go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Please.
Are we putting another culvert in Talon Lake Road?
I think we're still doing the one. It's
We're
still
still doing the one 2 years ago?
a little longer than that.
Whatever length of time.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting for an agreement.
Are we? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be good to wrap that up. We're going on like year 7 or 8.
Oh, I just did something.
Colin?
And just with the speed limits, I thought there was also a need to update the signage on certain roads. I thought it pointed out to us in the roads tour that because there's nothing specific on Long Lake Road, it could be assumed to be an 80 zone based on the present setup.
Yeah, Jason, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I do, yeah, you're absolutely correct, so some of the signs, the roads still have to be posted.
Okay,
And that is the way the act reads, is that it's an unposted road, it's assumed that
all right, so that's still ongoing then.
yeah, we still have to post some signage is in place, but we still have to post some.
I think something that we could add on to this perhaps, because we did it just at our last meeting, or well, 2 meetings ago, was about Burley Street. I know it's not technically, I mean, our road, but the fact that we've initiated a process with the county to review that is kind of relates to this as well.
Is that related to the radar?
No, we're just talking, but we requested the county do a review of the speed limit for consideration to reduce it to 40 through Apsley. Okay. Wow. I saw, can I ask about, I saw the traffic counters were out, they were actually out in the summer, like. And so, I mean, is there going to be more counts done? Cause I was always under the impression it was done in the shoulder seasons. I love that it was done in the summer because that's really gonna tell you the impact, you know, that during high season, but are you looking to collect any more data?
Yeah, so we're doing that through a partnership with Pembroke County, so it's in conjunction with when they're doing their traffic count.
Okay,
So I'll be in touch with Doug, I'm assuming that they're gonna pick up the lower season traffic versus the higher traffic seasons. So yeah, we have the higher traffic seasons. What we're trying to do is get some information to see if our classification speed, what it's actually happened.
oh yeah, that's a long time coming.
Yes.
Yeah, there, I'm sure have been some changes on a lot of the roads and yeah, over the years, right? So it may impact other priorities or things that are on this, you know, as a result of that data coming forward. So, okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay, update the minimum maintenance, road standard bylaw. So this was done, training has been implemented for road staff on the usage of the MMS through the road snow school and stroller training. And we updated the MMS, using internal citywide route patrol software now. And I can maybe ask the manager, I believe that have purchased the tablets or are in the process of getting the tablets
Yes,
to use this winter.
we are in the process of getting them.
Okay.
And the request for proposal for 135 Burley Street renovations. So this was brought forward recently to council. The renovation drawings were completed in Q3 of 25. The scope of work was reviewed and finalized, and the RFP is scheduled to be released in Q4. We're under 1.1. Complete the Mount Julian Vinemead Road project, so that was completed. And the additional guardrails were also completed.
Coming back for 1 second to the health center. Sorry, I'm getting some feedback somewhere. Was there any changes made to the RFP? Like, were we able to get feedback as to why nobody was bidding on it and adapt the request, or is it the same request going out again?
But the next item for the health center.
Oh, correct.
Yeah, the other one was for Burley Street.
Oh,
That's
okay.
So for the North Health Center, I think what we found was we weren't getting any bids. It's just a larger project. So we did break it down and did have some of it completed. So I don't know if Matt can maybe speak to the phase 3 portion.
Yeah, so we're still waiting on HVAC drawings for the addition portion of the project. I sent an email back into the HVAC designer, trying to get those drawings. Once we have those, the RFP can be put in. Hopefully at the end of the year, and we're gonna give you a start date in the spring on the project.
Can I just ask, like, so it's the remaining portion is basically, it's the expansion of the waiting room area at the front of the building, right?
That's correct.
Have we had any updated feedback? Like, I'm just wondering, like, because I know that a lot of this was initiated when it was COVID times and we needed the space and to, you know, but is there still a need, like, are both the doctors are feeling that it is warranted to, expand?
There are days where the waiting room is full over there.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not, but there are days
Okay.
where they are. Part of the delay was there was an amendment done to the drawings. The original drawings had a 25 by 8 foot vestibule.
Yeah.
Some amendment was done to actually reduce that vestibule and create more waiting room space.
Okay.
With the unneeded vestibule space, so those drawings have been received, and we're just waiting for the revised HVAC to go on with that.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same plan and everybody, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And Matt did meet with both doctors and that vestibule redesign.
Colin?
The other thing would be, if we were to increase service levels, which I think a lot of us have a desire to, at that point, we need more space for waiting room as well.
Okay,
That would be a good point to consider if there was ever considered to enlarge the facility, maybe having a separate lab waiting room. Might be an option.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, the roads tour was complete. The 5-year surface treatment plan, it was approved for Plan C. This is the second year that have done works. And the roads are listed, Lake Road, Don Wilson Road, Big Cedar, Dunsford. The rest of Big Cedar, Fire Route 10 and Haltane were worked on this year.
Jason, can I ask you, what's next year again? I know it's Glen Alda roads.
Let out the Winners Bay and like,
In Lakeview, okay, yeah. Yeah, we decided to give the north some love. We were like doing it all down south, but yeah, okay, perfect.
Excuse me, I didn't quite hear, I know it's Glen Alden Road, are you doing Winners Bay Road too?
yeah, it's Glen Elda, Winters Bay and like,
Thank you.
Awesome, all
I
right.
wonder if we should be spending some more money, we got lots of those roads we could do, eh?
Well, they're on the list. It's a manpower and time, right?
that's the problem.
What you physically can do.
Okay, that's the capacity,
Yeah, we're at that.
okay.
Yeah, so, and the fact that so next year will be the third year, so well, I mean, it's the end of term, and I would assume at the start of the new term, the new council will do some strategic planning, and maybe at that point, we're talking about the next 5 years?
So. Not to divulge, but the capital forecast, I do have some new projects in there.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Well, we'll save that surprise for a month or so. Thanks. Okay, sorry, Lana, go ahead.
So the next goal was meet with the county of Peterborough to discuss the transfer of Baum Road and county's portion of Jack Lake Road to the township after the county brings the roads to an acceptable standard. So the county has been doing some work on those, but after this goal was identified, there was a draft road transfer rationalization policy that was presented to council. And that's for the two-way transfer of road responsibilities, either to or from the township. So that has been adopted by county council. So if the desire was that we thought that any of those road portions were at a state that we wanted to pursue, we would go through that road rationalization policy.
Exactly.
So we could either get, further direction from council to move forward on that, or it could be incorporated into the next plan. I'm not sure what the status of the county work is on those two roads right now.
I don't know. I think it's probably going to be a carry forward because the county does need to do some work, right? And I think probably it can be initiated at the county level, right? To like say that we would like to download these. What do you think of that? I will say with respect to the Jack Lake Road, lots of positive feedback this weekend, especially from the artist studios along that road. They're like, they did it just for the tour. It's the best road we've ever had.
It is the best one.
Oh, they've done very, very well, and I'm going to certainly let county staff know. Excellent.
Have we indicated to them that we don't want these roads to come to us?
No, we haven't indicated that at all.
Hey, why not?
Because we had indicated that if they bring it up to a proper standard, then maybe it makes sense for us to take it over. Providing the level of service, there are roads that go to nowhere, right? Remember, we went on a tour
Well, I
with Sharon.
know all the stories.
Yeah, you were there.
Still gonna cost a lot of money.
Oh, absolutely.
In the long run, it's gonna cost a lot of money.
But we'll see where maybe the county doesn't want to give them up.
Oh, yeah, that's a big possibility.
So it's gonna be a complicated process. That's why they developed that policy. So we'll see what happens. But right now, it's sort of, it's status quo, so.
Good roads are easy to try to ask on. A few years back, we discussed updating the speed limits on Jack Lake Road. Are we any closer to actually being able to update them on the municipal portion?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not really aware. I know there was a speed design study done.
Yeah.
I have not reviewed this study because my understanding at the time was that council was not feeling about updating the speed limit.
I'm trying to, what is the limit right now?
I think it's 80.
It's 80.
It varies, I know, and I believe that the road needs study and was recommended that it should not be that.
Yeah, they didn't even feel safe doing half the test.
It's too, yeah, where is that coming from? There's a feedback going on.
Because.
Oh, it's that, maybe. Okay. Anyway, I'm afraid to talk now.
I think about this.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it because no one's talking online
This one
anyway?
off, we can try that.
We can just, yeah.
It's probably easier to keep yours on than
Yeah.
theirs.
Okay. Gary can talk louder. Let's do it.
Celia, can I get you to advance to the additional operational achievements for one time left course of the pages, please?
Where are we at? Oh, we're not even,
Same page.
okay, sorry, I'm doing it on my own screen, but, okay, so then we should, then that may be something that we want to put like to follow up on. I don't know if that's this on here too, but like just to follow up when it comes to the speeds and make sure that, we're following along with the recommendations that, were provided through the road speed study.
Yeah, I can bring a report to council with the, and bring back the, speed study.
Okay, wonderful, thank you.
Okay, so we have listed in the past some achievements, additional achievements that weren't attached to a specific goal in 23 and 24. I won't go over those again unless there's any questions. So moving to the additional achievements in 2025. We have the micro surfacing of Tucker Street North, Oak Ridge Drive, we completed this fall. And the new cover was installed on the Public Works Department sand dome. Well seen, and there's several items here from Park and Rec. The Olympia ice resurfacer. The secondary electric water heater for the ice resurfacer.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's quite a few here. Helpful Osborne and Yarville. On the list.
Way to go, Gary. Holy smokes.
I don't know if there's any in particular. So let's. More information on.
And this is the thing, I mean, you know, well, we have the best laid plans, but there's always stuff that crops up that we have to deal with anyway, in addition to this, you know, standard operating. So, but it's good to list that, it's to, you know, to remind folks that, you know, there's a lot on our plates always.
Next.
Can I just ask a question of Gary?
Sure.
I've never heard of a drag on the baseball diamond. What is a drag?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
a
know.
that's a minor thing, but I put it in there this year because it made a big difference. So, we've always had these less than, how can I say it, productive drags that you drag a ball diamond with, and that improves field play, increases safety. And the biggest thing is it increases, water drainage availability. So we actually sourced and found a good drag this year that made a huge difference to the ball diamond down there at Wilson Park. And again, then it just reduces some of the other things that we have to do on a regular basis. So having a good drag, again, just improves efficiencies in other areas.
Lots of positive feedback from the ball teams as well, and all the users.
Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, thanks. And we have the outfield scheduled for this fall too.
Awesome. Alright,
So the next goal under infrastructure is 1.2, plan infrastructure development with demographic needs. So, we had done the, tour of facilities in January of 2024, and we just, completed with council the tour of Fire Station 3, as well as many municipal properties. And as earlier in the meeting, we will be doing further look at the properties, in October. And then under here, I think,
Go ahead. Just coming back to 2 for a second. It would be nice if we could flesh this out a little bit, because just as we're looking at it, it looks like we don't have very many plans for future infrastructure development, with demographic needs. I would consider the downtown master plan to be a significant part of that, because I think a significant portion will be accessibility, pedestrian safety. So if we're able to add that to the approved action, I think it might prompt forward movement with it as well.
the challenge with having a separate economic development strategic plan within, like, a lot of things get captured in that, but relate back, so Edward, did you want to maybe just speak to that, is it in?
I was just gonna say it's in 1.4, just further down, so we're.
Oh, it's a little further.
So it's both of that section, so I understand what the is.
That's my fault.
But I don't know how it helps that it is captured as in 1.4 as well, so.
And I've also just learned that you can't use Control F on whatever kind of document you have. Here, usually I can, that search your thing.
So,
But one thing that I would like to add, and I think this may be the appropriate place, is it was discussed last year at the strategic plan meeting, but the development of the vacant lot at 143 Burley Street into a municipal parking lot.
and we're on that. Yep, Jim?
Are we at the county, and design of the parking lot yet?
Yeah,
We're gonna mention it.
yeah, so we have had a couple of meetings with the county staff who have graciously offered to provide the engineering services for that project. And we did bring forward to council some of the design options. Council sent us back with a 90-degree angle plan. And Edward was at the last meeting. I wasn't there as yet, but I believe there's gonna be something coming forward.
That's correct. The lot has been surveyed, so they're just waiting for the digital file to just confirm the dimensions of the site that they have in their AutoCAD drawings. But they've updated the drawings to reflect the 90-degree parking, and once we have that, we can use those confirmed lot dimensions for just confirming the capital cost and if there's any adjustments to be made. So, but they have been. We have the tentative draft drawings ready in the budget for the with us. We just wait for the confirmation of the boundaries from the surveyor.
It was just a follow-up, on the tour, several councilors mentioned the picnic tables and so on there. Is that part of what you put forward, to have picnic tables at the front of it before you start the parking lot?
There will be some buffer space on the south side of the lot that allow for picnic tables or other uses like that. We'd have to confirm just. It's a little pie shaped in terms of that south side where it'll be paved versus shoulder and up to the property line. So we just have to maybe look at. What else is whether it's a picnic bench versus a picnic table, we could maybe see once we have the final dimensions, just what kind of fixtures might be able to be placed in that section. So. We did put rough numbers in for a couple improvements on the site, but we just need to confirm those dimensions. We'll get specific fixturing options that would be available there.
And I think reports will be coming forward once, they incorporate the survey and we have the document, and it will also probably be discussed through the capital and budget.
I was gonna say, as long as it's, we've got the info in time for
I
budget.
think at one point we were gonna put picnic tables in the middle, but we went away from that idea based on the input from council. So now we need to revisit the efforts at where those could go. And okay, so for 1.2, I'll just skip to the 2025 additional achievements. So we obtained quotes in Q3 for further information on the hydrogeological information for the Balmer Road property to further analyze development options and feasibility. And this just refers to the, I'm going to actually add it as a whole, but in collaboration with county, the parking lots improvements. And setting it up for EV charging stations. Park and Rec also has several items here. Regarding the tennis pickleball courts. Further develop program in 2025 to meet the growing demand for adult pickleball. Plan to revitalize the beach volleyball court, which we saw on our tour. And it was very well received in the community, as well as the new youth beach volleyball program.
If
So,
I,
Gary, go
if
ahead.
I may, yeah, I was just gonna, some of these are bigger, some are smaller, but what we tried to do is just plug items, any items that we did, that met, each section of the strat plan. So here, when we plan infrastructure development, with demographic needs. So, might not be huge, but the beach volleyball court was created, which is infrastructure. And we created that due to a need that we had in a certain demographic. So that's where, you'll find each one of these things is in there for a reason where we try to meet, sections of the plan.
Perfect.
Okay, and if we can move to 1.3.
Excuse me, Red.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Could I be first on the list to get an adorable house?
Where's the adorable house?
Read it,
Yeah, where are you? 1.3.
1.3. Markets for senior families, adorable house.
That's what tiny homes are. They're adorable.
Kellyanne, I do.
I love it though.
I'm pretty,
Same thing on Gillian.
helping mistakes on the presentation.
It's kind of affordable, it's adorable. It's the best. I think we keep it in. I think it's a goal.
Well,
Add affordable.
it has taken us 3 years to notice it.
That's true, Gary.
That's funny.
So 1.3 facilitate the creation of more housing, including new builds, multi-residential, secondary dwelling units. And for the following markets, seniors, families, affordable housing and rental units. The first goal here was initiate a reserve starting in 24 for the purpose of purchasing property and completing studies to prepare properties for municipal purposes beneficial to the community, including housing development. So this was discussed last year in the budget on how we would fund this. Throughout the year, there were several funding opportunities that we applied to for the Balmer property to get some of these costs covered. And I believe that in the end, the decision was not to have a separate reserve, but to address it as needed. But I'll
Just
turn it over, speak to it.
Go ahead.
Yep, yeah, so we can put it back in, mention it in the budget process again this year, but last year it wasn't, we didn't put anything in.
But we've had these things before, but it's basically, it's like a motion to amend the budget and then to have it come from out of general reserve. Okay. All right.
Yeah, last year, I think when we were trying to keep the percentage as low as possible in the budget, we wanted to set a goal for the taxation base.
Right, I get it. And you know what, it's not inconsistent with what general reserve should be used for anyway, right? It's these kind of things that are sort of outside of the normal operating. I think we can continue to do that. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it can be an item for discussion at budget, and see how much it goes at that time.
Yeah.
See where we're at with the percentage for 2026.
Okay.
Okay, the next goal was to host a meeting with local builders, contractors, developers, and discuss current pressures and opportunities. So it was on here to schedule a meeting with local builders, contractors, developers, and that has been on the horizon of our planning staff on and off, but as council is aware, we've had several changes in our planning staff. Also with the forming of the advisory committee for the comprehensive zoning bylaw, there would be an opportunity to consult with this group for input and hopefully have them attend any public open houses. So I think it's important to keep it there. We do need to understand what the challenges are.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, pardon me.
Seeing as this is a significant priority, I think, for everybody up here, and don't mean to be difficult, can we say Q4 2025 for that? Because that is something that really should have been front loaded in my mind in order to try to determine how we can best move forward with development in the area. I would have thought that would have been one of the first priorities to try to achieve number 3.
I think that, yeah, I mean, I've talked with our planner and I think our economic development officer to coordinate that. It's always it's tricky to find the time, right? You know, because there are always some builders and planners, but I mean, if we can reach out, I know in my own conversations with some of the local contractors, you know, I think that they would welcome the opportunity. It'd just be a matter of finding, you know, a good time that would work for a lot of people. Have it be an evening meeting, bring food. Yeah. Right, so, but yeah, let's see if we can still make that a 2024 accomplishment.
2020,
Or pardon me, 2025.
so you let us go ahead and plan that. I know that the individual planners and economic development officer have met individually,
Yeah.
but not as a group, so we can look at seeing when we can organize that a lot.
I think there's a benefit to that. I mean, like, I've heard that too. There's good communication and feedback with the builder, with building and planning, with, certainly with staff, but, it's just like us all coming together to spitball ideas, right? Like you getting them all in the room and having that conversation and sort of, organically, the ideas that may come forward. I think we should try it if we can.
Shouldn't we have something to take forward, though? We got nothing to take forward at the moment.
Well, I'm sure they have something to bring forward to us. No, it's a matter of, talking to them about what their needs are, like what their concerns are, like suggestions that they have. Like, it's just an idea for like, hey, let's just sit down and have a conversation about some of the challenges and struggles that you may deal with when it comes to building and planning in North Kawartha. And what are some ideas, maybe constructive criticism, constructive feedback, things that you've seen in other places that you'd like North Kawartha to consider. I think there'd be a lot. I don't know that we necessarily need to, craft a very specific detailed agenda other than,
And I think that it should include both building processes and
Yep.
planning processes.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the next was utilize social media to attract developers. So through the new branding methods are being considered on how best to attract developers through social media. I don't believe that any initiatives have been started in this regard.
I was gonna, if I could say, because I was at retirement luncheon yesterday for Lynn Fawn, who has been the face of the county. And she had 41 years anyway, but it was interesting. I was talking with Tracy Bertram from the county. And we were talking about things like branding and how it attracts developers. And one of the things she had mentioned is that how important it is that for a lot of folks, I mean, they don't necessarily want to, it's not attracted by sort of the corporate look or that corporate feel. They want, they're coming to a community. And I think that there is maybe an opportunity, even like working with the county, certainly, to meet this objective, right? I think we're on our way already, but and the social media, like it's been huge. I've been very active on it this week because there's been a lot going on and yeah, it gets out there. There's a lot of reach for sure. So, but it's also it can be a full-time job. I need a personal assistant sometimes.
So the additional operational achievements for 2025. The Housing Accelerator Fund, the CMHC, funding application. We did apply in 24 and 25 for the Housing Accelerator Fund, but we were not successful in either. We continue to pursue alternative funding opportunities. The FCM planning studies grant was applied for in 2025. And there's ongoing staff research and collaboration with the county and EOR to assess communal servicing and municipal service corporation potential. And I believe that that's coming back to the county in Q4 of 25.
Go ahead. Yep.
I know this is gonna be picky, but if we can update the bit about the housing accelerator fund. The way that it's written, it makes it look like until we get money from the government that we're not going to be able to move forward with anything. So we can say that it provides difficulty with funding of a housing development. I think that would be more appropriate than saying, because we didn't get this, it's gonna impact our ability to. And I think it just impacts the fund availability.
I would maybe it just could be changed to say the township applied 24-25 and that was not selected for funding, period. And then staff will continue to pursue alternative funding.
Yes, that works.
Yeah, you're right. It makes sense. There it is. I'm getting ahead a little bit there. Did you, because we're onto the county EOR thing, I think there's something coming forward at the county shortly here, so which hopefully means there'll be something coming forward to us about the partnership when we're looking at the servicing opportunities for.
Yeah, I don't know if Edward has anything to add, but I believe we're
great.
waiting on that county presentation.
Okay,
I had a couple meetings with Jason St. Peter, your And some other Frontenac County representatives from their, community, their MSC, so really get an updated reports to forward to, county council probably in October.
I think so, yeah, I think October, you're right.
All right. Okay, we can move on to 1.4 then. Explore complete community, so analyzing demographic information and trends. We do this fairly often on most of the projects that we are working on. Visitor surveys were completed in the summer of 2025 by the Economic Development Officer. And updated visitor information was provided by RTOH. Have some more information there. And the second goal is develop a downtown master plan. The creation of plans upon planning horizon. Public consultation is planned for Q4 2025 and Q1 2026 using the new platform available to us, Engagement HQ, which Tony uses. And interim recommendations are expected in Q1 2026.
Perfect. You good with that?
Yeah. Are we able to see the results of the first, a huge shout out to Edward for going it on weekends
Mhm.
and for approaching people that were having their ice cream and asking if they were interested in participating in the survey to improve municipal services. That takes serious guts, but that is like incredibly valuable information that you get that way. Are we able to check that out at any point?
You, you're that, when we have that public consultation, that, yeah, I'd have a summary report to kind of, with the other information we get through RTOA and others is have the public see that information and also then provide the feedback, of course, and, you know, I've been talking to every single person and also to gather additional input based on what we received. Cause I think it would help that'd be a good discussion point, that if I have something with me, some information to present, then people can provide their feedback off of that, whether they agree or disagree and why or why not, for their feedbacks.
Okay.
Okay, so at this point, we're on to the next priority of economy.
Oh, can I just say one thing before we get on to development of a downtown master plan? And I think, cause Ruthann brought it to my attention, did she send it to you? That HGTV seeks extraordinary Canadian small towns to star in new series, Hometown Takeover. And you can apply for your small town to receive a makeover and be featured in Canada's first Hometown Takeover TV series. I was like, send that to Edward Scott.
Yeah.
We could do that. We want a makeover, so anyway, I don't know if we wanna add it on there, I just wanted to bring it up during this just to see,
Good
right?
idea. What do you think?
We did that with, well, we.
I want
Well, I don't know, I mean, I just said send it to Edward and maybe he can, if there's a possibility, I don't know, I mean, it's just like right across Canada, right? So, I mean, we meet the criteria, it's a small town.
Different.
Yeah, still standing different, yeah.
Actually, I wasn't sure I was gonna hold this off till the end, but this is the end of infrastructure and it was infrastructure related. I'm going back, I think it was in 1.2. The one item I wouldn't mind seeing updated, and again, I know this is being a little forceful timeline wise, instead of an RFP for renovations in the 135 Burley Street, I'd like to see that updated to finding a tenant for 135 Burley Street, and then the renovations, anything else, that can all happen beneath it. But the bank left in April of 2018, and I think any private company that was dealing with private commercial real estate would have had this rented a long time ago. I realize we do a bit more than just private real estate. But I do think that we need to fill that spot that is actually significantly overdue at this point.
Yeah. Well, but there are those renovations that have to be completed. The entrance, the washroom, those updates, the secondary exit. That's what's, I mean, and I'm not talking, you know, because we talked about that, there's like specific renovations that may be required for, depending on who the tenant is, but. Yeah, we gotta get like the basic renovations done. So, where are we with that?
I was just gonna say, that did come recently to council, and the direction was to do those minor
Yeah.
updates prior to getting a tenant. I believe, because we had sort of talked about doing it in the reverse order, but Edward and Matt can maybe give us an update on status of that RFP.
I'll just go for
Yeah.
that, and let Matt. Basically, with the RFP, we'd be getting the space into, I would say, a shell-ready condition, so, addressing the bathroom work that needs to be done, making them accessible, adding the entry to the rear. We also have to close off the access at front with the vestibule where the ATM is. So be basically getting the space shell ready, and then there could be additional big fixturing and bidding that would be required depending on who the end user is. But this work would be at least to get it, I would say, shell ready condition for some commercial or office use. At this point, that would be the intention of that work, not necessarily getting everything ready for a specific tech. There's probably additional work that depending on who the tenant is that would need to be done even on top of that.
When it takes 8 years to potentially go from bank to shell, I think it makes more sense just to do it all at once. Because then we can have it all done under the same RFP, find the tenant and figure out what they're gonna need, because the renovations that we have may not line up with exactly what they need. Yep. Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. Chill.
Thank you, Colin.
Good times.
We went through all this when we were looking at this, and, I think there's even a motion of council to, get the thing, the shell ready, because you need a wheelchair washroom, you need an entrance, you need and, be a lot more attractive for somebody coming in to take a look at. And especially if there's no asbestos in there or anything else, you don't have to be explaining things all over the place. You bring somebody in, they got a nice, clean looking, nice finished, space. What do you wanna do with it?
That's right.
That's what we ended up with at council.
Yeah.
So one of the things I would say is I agree, that getting the main work done, it's gonna be the time consuming part. If there's a basic renovation that needs to take place before somebody moves in, putting some partition walls or something in, it can happen pretty quickly. But getting the plumbing for that accessible washroom completed, the structural work for the new door at the back, the entrance on the side, that's gonna take the time and preparation for. So I agree that it's something that, makes it more appealing that somebody is looking at moving in fairly quickly if those basic renovations are done already, rather than saying, I'm interested in this space. Well, now you're looking at 6 or 8 months before you can even utilize it, because we haven't done any basic renovations to the space. So
Yeah, so where are we then with those?
What's the timeframe
Yeah.
for the RFP?
the RFP, so Edward and I have been meeting, it should be going out, in the next, month or two. We have the plans now, hopefully by the end of October, we'll get an RFP together for the work to be done.
So can we say that, or sort of maybe provide the direction that you get it out like this year so that, we can get this back? Well, I guess, because the thing is, we need to know the budget, right? So I guess the timing is that like, we've got to get it out, so we get it back, we know. What we need to be budgeting for, so that work can start like ASAP in the new year. Like, cause Colin's right, it has been a long time, and we've known for a long time some of these updates, but it's been, there's been some questions about like, putting an extra entranceway and all that kind of stuff, but I think. Like, we need to get that moving forward, and, I think that is a priority. As much as, the health center is one too, but that one specifically. It's really important to at least get that done, and because I think you may we'll have even more interest, right, at this point.
We'll, make our best efforts to try and get that RFP by the end of the month.
Perfect. Okay. All right, so we got a couple more minutes here. Do we want to take a break now, or, Or do you think we can fly through this? No, I think, let's take a break. How about that? We're gonna take a 10-minute break. All right, we'll be right back.
Bring any donuts?
Is it cookie?